Hello, welcome to a new Shop My Stash. I keep getting comments like, girl, where's the next one? Let's go through my makeup drawers today. I wanted to try filming this a little bit differently. I've really been enjoying doing like the overhead filming like this, so let me know your thoughts, but I thought I would kind of take you through what has been in my everyday makeup drawer. As you can see, it currently is a bit of a disaster, but we'll walk through the products. I'll let you know if I'm gonna keep any of these in here, and then we will pick out the new products. So to be honest, I was getting ready the other day, and normally this would look a little bit more organized than this, but I just like shoved everything back in this drawer when I was done because I was like, well, I'm gonna film the video anyway. So it's looking at it, it's like in its most chaotic state right now. But first of all, I have been using the Sigma Angela Bright palette so much. More thoughts to come on this soon in a speed reviews. Also, I feel like I just have a ton of blushes in here right now. Two powder ones from the drugstore. I've got the ColourPop Swerve blush, Bare Minerals bronzer, and a Kaja blush. I would say the one I've been wearing the most actually these days for this past rotation really has been this one from ColourPop, though it did fall out, which is kind of a bummer, but this is the shade Swirled. I'm loving it. For powders, I have mostly been using my Kosas Cloud set, which I actually feel like I'm going to hit pan on soon. Like, this dip is getting so deep. I've also been using my Bite Changemaker quite a bit recently. I fully panned one of these, but I had one more shade left. So this is the shade Light 1. Oh wait, we missed some blushes. I have more back here. This is the Essence Pure Nude Baked Blush, and then this blush I've had forever. Like, I purchased this before going cruelty-free. This is the Lorac blush in the shade Tinge. Like, do you see that pan? I'm sure I'll finish this before the year is out. This actually will probably keep in the drawer. So let me set that over here because I want to keep the palette in the drawer for sure, and I also think I'll keep the blush in just because sometimes I like using it more as like a mid-tone shade, more so under the eyes. I've been testing this out from Keys Soul Care. It is their new skin tint. I'm actually really liking it, so I think I will probably end up keeping this in, but I have another foundation in here that I'm going to take out. I've been using the Flawless in Real Life by Sharon C. I like this as a slightly more matte option. I have lots of bronzers in here right now too. See, that's why I needed to go through this. It was getting a little bit out of hand. We have all 4 of these bronzers. My Fenty bronzer is always in here, and I'm actually trying to figure out if this is like pan right here. It is like almost impossible to see, and then I'm like, no, Kelly, that's just a mark, but it kind of seems like pan. I also have the Jones Road bronzer, and I have the shade Light. I like this, but it's not my perfect undertone, I would say, so I don't use it too much. And then I've had these 2 cream bronzers in. This is the Merit Cream Bronzer in Quince, which is like my favorite. But I also have really been liking the LA Girl Velvet bronzer. This is like very glowy, honestly really sheer, like a unique formula for sure, but I've been enjoying it. Out of those, the Fenty bronzer will definitely stay in because I always wear this. I also want to keep in this concealer from Natasha Denona because I've been using it so much. I'm like truly obsessed with this thing. Oh, I'll definitely take this out. I've had the primerizer in here. I actually do really enjoy this. I don't know that I need it as much right now in the summer, but I'm sure in a few months I will pull this back in. Okay, I also have a few Natasha Denona palettes in here. I actually really haven't reached for these since putting them in, but I threw them in the other day thinking I might do some looks with them. This is Mini Biba and Mini Retro. Should I keep these in? I'm kind of thinking, yeah, let me keep these in with the Angela Bright one, and those might be my palettes for next time. Also maybe this one though, because this is another one I threw in the other day when I was in my palette drawer, and then I never really used it, but I love this palette. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Quad. So for now, I'm thinking I'm gonna put all 3 of these in, but we'll decide for sure in a bit. Okay, this little e.l.f. Squeeze Balm I love, but it doesn't need to be in this drawer. I need to go put this with my lip balms. I'll also probably put this back, the Positive Vibes Only Highlight from Essence. This one honestly might get decluttered. I just haven't really been loving this. It's a very sparkly, glowy formula, which isn't really my preference, so I'm not sure that I'm going to keep this, but we'll definitely put it back for now. Okay, lots of lip products in here. Okay, out of these, I will probably put all of them back except for this one, and I might just grab for these at some point during the next rotation, but I'm gonna put them back for now. But this one from Becca, unfortunately we know Becca's not a brand anymore, but I reach for this so much. This is the shade Dune. If I can find like a really nice like shade dupe for this, I will let you guys know, but it's like my perfect warm nude. Okay. This also could be organized a little bit, so let me just go in and move things where they're supposed to be. Oh, I'm gonna put this back also. This is a liquid eyeshadow from Essence. Oh, more lipsticks down here actually. Okay, these we're hiding. We also have Milani I Am Bold, which is this bright red. I wore this the other day. And then I have Bite Beauty Sugar Buns, which is this really pretty pink. I'm gonna put both of these back. Put the color corrector back. Okay, let's go through my drawers and pick out what I wanna use next. Okay, starting in the base drawer, I don't know that I even really wanna grab a primer right now. I feel like maybe I might reach for my e.l.f. Power Grip at some point this next rotation, but I don't necessarily wanna put one in. I don't use primer as much in the summer, I feel like. But the foundation I'm thinking I'm going to use my Fenty Eavesdrop because this is definitely more of a lightweight option, but it also is slightly more matte and it has been insanely hot lately. So I'm thinking this is gonna be a good option, but I do usually mix it with this. So I'm gonna just throw this in at the same time. This is the LA Girl Pro Color Foundation Mixing Pigment in white because the Fenty foundation is a little bit too dark for me. For concealer, I did go ahead and keep the Natasha Denona one in. I'm wondering if I want to grab a second one or if I'm all set. You can see I haven't been like hoarding too many concealers lately. I don't have a ton open, but I'm almost wondering if I want to throw in my LYS concealer. I haven't had this in a minute. I have the shade LN6, and you know what? Let me put this in also. I'm trying to decide if there's another foundation I want to grab for. Actually, maybe not, because I do already have in the Keys Skin Tint. I was thinking maybe I would also add the NYX Bear With Me Blur, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it for now, and if some point I'm like, okay, I really need to switch it up, obviously I'll come in and like let myself change it, but I'm thinking I'll mostly be reaching for the Fenty one and then also that Keys one. So I think that's actually gonna be everything from this drawer. All right, drawer number 2 has cream cheek products. We've got cream blushes in here and cream and liquid blushes and, or excuse me, bronzers and highlights in here. Then some cream eyeshadows, some single shadows. I definitely want to put in a cream bronzer, but which one do I want to use? Actually, let me throw in this one from Tarte. This one I actually probably should try to use up soon because as you can see, it's fully broken. This was a mini of their Sea Breezy cream bronzer. I think this is actually such an underrated product. It's a really wonderful bronzer formula, and I haven't used it in a minute, and I probably should try to use it up because I feel like it's gonna dry out soon since the cap broke. Okay, for cream blush, I kind of want to do something I can mix. Let me take this one actually. This is my Milani Cheek Kiss Liquid Blush, and I think I'm gonna also take this from Rare Beauty because I love mixing these. So this is their liquid highlight in the shade Enchant, and the Milani blush is in Berry Smooch. These two together create something really similar to like one of these beauty light wands from Charlotte Tilbury, where you have kind of that highlighter effect, but also the blush tone. It's like kind of dewy, and I think it's really pretty for summer. So I'm gonna put both of these in together, and I don't think I'm gonna grab any individual shadows right now. Again, if I like really am wanting to use one at some point, I'll pop in and take it, but I think that's gonna be everything from this drawer. This drawer is where I keep my powders, and then this little basket is my my Project Pan items. So I'm not gonna specifically grab anything out of here, but I've of course been using these products periodically. But for a powder, I'm trying to decide if there's something in here that I haven't used in a little while. And you know what I'm thinking? I love the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil, and I don't feel like I've reached for this in a while. And what I really like about this one is the version I have has SPF 25, so I feel like it's a nice touch-up powder to also kind of get a little bit of sunscreen touch-up there. Obviously, I wouldn't just rely on this for my SPF, but it's nice to have as like an extra. But I like to always have a pressed and a loose powder. So since we already picked a loose powder, I still kind of want to pick a pressed powder. And I'm thinking maybe this. This is actually a powder foundation, but it's from Pure Cosmetics. It's their pressed powder foundation. I normally just use this as powder foundation, but I'm kind of like, what if I throw this in and see how I like it as a setting powder? Especially because I have that skin tint in right now. I really like doing a skin tint or something lighter coverage like that, and then topping it with a powder foundation or some sort of powder that has a bit of coverage. And I'm thinking this could be a good pairing. You know, we'll try it. We'll see if that works. The back of this drawer has like a bunch of false lashes, which is funny. I rarely use false lashes, but I feel like I have a nice stash of them back here, but that's gonna be everything out of this drawer, I'm thinking. Okay, these are my powdered cheek products. This drawer, it's the issue I'm running into is that these are supposed to be separated as bronzer, blush, and highlight. But I have so many more blushes that the blushes have started to spill over into the others. And it's like I don't have an even split of blush, bronzer, and highlight, so it's kind of hard to organize these. But at some point, maybe closer to fall, I wanna do a whole organization video and go in, maybe get some new separators and just organize these a little bit differently in a way that's more conducive to my actual collection. But for now, this is how it looks, and we're gonna pick out of here. So I did keep the Fenty bronzer in. The Fenty bronzer is just always there. Whenever I try to take it out, I'll be doing my makeup and I'm like, I can't do my makeup without that bronzer. So that's already in the drawer, but let's pick up a second one. I'm thinking this. I just did my top 3 in every category. If you missed it, I can leave those videos linked down below. I did it as a part 1 and a part 2, but one of the 3 bronzers I mentioned was this. This is Ambra from Nabla, and this is like the most beautiful baked formula, very glowy, so stunning and like natural on the skin. So I wanna throw this in. For a blush, I definitely wanna grab a peach because I've really been loving peach. And the main peach I've been using is of course that Catrice one, but why don't we put this in? This is Milani Luminoso. This has been a popular shade forever, pretty much. And I'm into more of a glowy blush right now, something a little bit more baked and luminous like this. So I think this will be a peach option for us, but I wanna grab a few blush shades, you know, depending on the look, what undertone we want. So I think that's gonna satisfy peach, but I'm thinking I kinda want a red, and for red, why don't I grab the corresponding blush to go with the bronzer? This is also from Nabla. This shade is called Lola. It's part of their skin glazing line. And this color, I don't know what it is, but it feels like summer to me because when you put this on your cheeks, it really just looks like you have that red summery flush, kind of like a sunburn almost. So I think these two together would give the most glowy cheek. And if you're wanting to do a glowy cheek but still have it be kind of like sweat proof and summer proof, I think a glowy powder like this is the way to go, because sometimes when you're achieving that look with creams, you might run into them sliding around or not staying as well. That's where I feel like powders come into play. Okay, but I still feel like I want to grab one more, and I'm deciding. I want it to be something in the pink family, but I just don't know what undertone. I'm like, do I want to go like really bright with bubble? You know, I love bubble. Or do I want to do more of this like nude, kind of almost mauve? This is Carmel from Persona. Or, see, I don't know. I'm like, I want a pink, but I don't know what kind of pink I want. Like, which of these do I want to grab? More of the nude pink or bright pink? This is so hard. You know what? I really have not had Carmel, which is this one. I have not had this in, actually I really haven't used this in a long time. And so I think this might be the time to bring this back. I used to like this shade the most. This was my favorite Persona blush. And funny enough, it's now become my least used. I feel like my most used recently is Georgia, which is the peach, which is hiding over here in the highlight. On the highlight side, that's Georgia. But Carmel was my favorite forever. So let's have a little return of Carmel. Okay, highlight. I'm like, do I even grab a highlight? I'm so just not into highlighter these days. I've almost not reached for highlighter at all recently. I'm trying to even think of the last time I wore a highlight. I think it was really, it's just been this Essence one because I've been testing it. You know what I think I'll grab actually though? This one I also mentioned in my top 3 video. This is the Sigma highlight in the shade Twilight. And I think this shade in particular will be nice because it has that pink undertone to it that I think pairs really well with your blush. And I remember last summer really loving this combo of like the glowy blush mixed in, but then this over top. And I remember specifically getting so many compliments when I would do this combo. So I'm like, maybe let's bring it back. We're gonna have a return of a lot of my old favorites. You know, we've got the Carmel blush, we've got last summer's blush combo. So I don't wear highlight a ton lately, but I'm actually kind of excited to throw this in. Okay, we're now into lips, and I definitely want to grab a lip stain, but you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking I want to do this one from e.l.f. This is a nude lip stain, so I mean, it doesn't have the same longevity as a bolder lip stain would, but I do really like this. And I feel like summertime, I just really associate with lip stains, and right now when we're in like the peak of summer, I think this is gonna be my perfect lip product. But you know what else I wanna use that I haven't used in a while? It's like hiding down here under everything. The Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump. Okay, so I've said so many times I don't think these are worth the hype, and I still don't, but I do think this shade is pretty. This is peachy beige. I feel like this is one of the more popular shades of this, and something about this super plump, super juicy lip definitely feels like summer to me, so I want to put that in. Also, I wore this the other day, and I really loved it, so I'm like, let's bring this back. This is the CoverGirl Yummy Gloss in the shade You're Just Jelly. This is like the perfect juicy popsicle lip that I'm loving this summer, so I think this will make a lot of sense in the basket. So I did keep in that Becca nude lipstick, which I'm sure I'm honestly probably gonna wear most days. Lately, my lip has mostly just been lip liner. Like, I haven't really been as focused on the actual lip product, whether that is gloss or lipstick or a stain. Like, it's been all about the lip liner for me. So weirdly, I know that doesn't seem like many lip products because it's just these three plus the Becca lipstick, but I think this is probably gonna get me where I need to go. And if I wanna reach in here for something, I will obviously come back and do it, but I'm thinking that's gonna be it out of this drawer, but I wanna walk through the palettes we've got in. Okay, so first of all, the Angela Bright Sigma palette. I've really been liking this. It's a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I don't tend to reach for these shades as much, but I've been having fun kind of forcing myself out of my comfort zone, trying something a little bit different. This shade right here, Champagne Problems, oh my gosh, you know I love a glittery topper, and this is like the glittery topper of my dreams. And even as a neutrals girly, I still feel like I've been reaching into this a lot. Yes, I feel like I've mostly been dipping into the neutral shades, but I feel like this palette has had me a little bit inspired. I've been trying to like force myself out of my comfort zone a little bit, so I want to keep this in, but we're gonna balance it out with my favorite neutrals. So Mini Biba from Natasha Denona. This is my favorite Natasha Denona palette, more than like the midi size, like the midi glam I have. I love that, but like for me, Mini Biba is my baby. I always love the looks with this, but I haven't had it in a minute, so I'm really excited to play around with it again. And then Mini Retro, I don't feel like I use as much, but I think this will be really fun to do some pink look, something a little bit more soft pink as opposed to these brighter warm shades I've been using lately. And then, like I said earlier, also throwing in Pillow Talk, but I'm almost wondering, I think these two together could be a really great pairing. I see some nice combos in here. Okay, this is always my favorite part, to just like put everything back into the drawer. It's something so satisfying, especially after seeing how chaotic it looked a minute ago with that like spillover of products. I'm really excited about all these base products. Like I said, I feel like, honestly, I might even try to mix these two together, the Keys Skin Tint and the Fenty one. We've got a few different powder options. I'm so pumped to use this blush. And then the palettes, I'm just gonna put over here on this side. But you guys, I'm so excited to play around with this basket. Something about this combo just feels so summery to me. So thank you so much for watching, and I will go ahead and see you in my next one.